Hello. We should be live now.
Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome to the JT weekly stream. Today I'm taking the wheel, and we are doing some asset development. So, Tom, do you want to do the welcomes whilst I
Yeah,
set
welcome,
up?
everyone. So tonight, Will's going to be, as he just put in there, doing some creation once again. So he's got Lofts are the actual theme of this evening. So fences. We're going to be doing. Well, I say we. I'm going to be watching, but Will's going to be doing fences. I'm just going to sort of watch and be amazed on how he does it all. So there's going to be a lot of Photoshop, and of course, obviously getting all the lofts created for the textures to go on top of. Yes, garden fences. So we'll be here for the next couple of hours, I would have thought. However long it takes Will to put some fences together. Who have we got in tonight? I'm just gonna have a little gander who I can see so far. So I can see Josh Trains is here. Good evening. Nigel Penn. Good evening. Darren Carey. Darren, can you still see us on Facebook? You did say your stream cut off. Just let us know if you can still see or hear us. If not, if you can refresh, just double check. I did see it was all on. Hugh Griffiths, good evening. Luke French, good evening. So, what are the assets for, route-wise, or is it a collection? We're going to be putting these into the common library, aren't we, Will?
Yeah,
These fences.
the plan is at the moment with all these assets is they're going to go in the common library, ready for whenever we update it in any routes.
So, obviously, the way we've been doing routes for many years, you'll notice that our garden fences rely on the Kuju packs. So you'll see the same two fences most of the time in the gardens, which are the sort of creamy coloured ones and then the brown ones. So it's about time that we got some new fancy fences to vary up the gardens along our routes. So Will's got a lot of research together. He's got loads of different types that we can slap into the game, and then, as I say, these will probably get rolled into areas on Southwestern Expressways first of all, because that's currently our route of work. But it'll go in the common library, so then it'll just go in any future route, and then of course you guys can use them at home once they're out there. Aaron Thomas, good evening. Jake as well, good evening. How are you doing?
Right. Let me quickly get everything open.
Excellent there, Darren, as well.
So, we're going to start with just a generic fence loft. So I've been talking to Mark, and Mark has given me a list of demands. Thank you very much for the follow. I can't see that on my screen. Can you see that?
I can. Finley Rude, thank you for the like and good evening. I'm going to have to proper get my binoculars out this evening to read that. I'm going to put that to full screen.
Yeah, I've got way too many windows open right now to see that fully. Well, we need more monitors. That's the issue.
We do. We just need multiple screens.
Just more screens. That's all we need. Right. So lofts are done very differently to normal assets in the game. So the way a loft works is you create a shape. Create a shape, be it a plane. Planes are normally the easiest thing to loft.
I'm taking note.
Taking note, are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm gonna build a fence one day. You never know.
Lofts are a lot of 3D work, so they're not. I didn't actually scale that properly.
So you got to obviously make sure these don't repeat, of course, and break and sort of.
Well,
I remember correctly. We had when I was eventually doing the tramway route, there was a fence that's specific to the Blackpool tramway, and it had to be built in such a way that it didn't split and break itself, which was a really awkward one because it was such a small section. When you obviously go around curves, it will pull itself away and stuff like that. So I assume you've got to obviously do specific things to stop that from happening.
So unfortunately, it's kind of the nature of the beast. If you have a loft that's too long, it has a habit of doing that. So what I'm going to show you is just a couple of tips and tricks that I use when making a loft. So I've got my plane. I'm looking at a top-down view so that you can.
Also, good evening to Ashley Thomas Knowles, and also Ben Ripstart. Good evening, Ben. How are you doing, mate? Yeah, this is going as well, Ashley.
I'm going to make these because our lofts go basically everywhere, and they're used for a nice division between houses and stuff like that. I'm going to give myself a bit longer height and have a concrete base on this loft. So I'm going to give it, say, what's the average height of a loft is 6 feet. So what's that in new money? 1.8. So 1.8, and then I'll give it an extra half a meter, so that's 2.3 meters tall. Okay.
So
the whole premise of a loft is you have a shape which you extrude across itself. You use it as what's known as a profile. I'm sorry if I'm teaching people to suck eggs here.
It's right, you're teaching me to suck eggs.
Um, but yeah, it's very simple to do. The only important things you have to remember with a loft is you have to zero it on zero on your grid. So the origin has to be 0, 0, and I believe it has to go up. If it's rotated in any other orientation, it has a tendency of bugging out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but these things go a bit awkward from time to time.
It would have been TS if it didn't go awkward from time to time.
It wouldn't be TS if it was straightforward.
Oh no, the tracing guy. Good evening, and Will is this evening going to be turning out some garden fences. Lofts are the theme this evening. And good to see you as well.
All I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding some geometry to help me make what's called a UV template. So I've got a line here that indicates. So this is obviously going to be the bottom of the loft. I've got a line here that indicates 50 centimeters up, and then the rest is going to be the fence. So what I want to do is I want to take this into the UV editor by unwrapping it.
There's an answer in here. The loft can go below Z equals 0, Ben says. I have
Yes,
no idea
it can. It can. I am going to sync it slightly, but for now I like to just work on 0, 0.
Makes sense, I think.
So basically, 0 on the grid, which is what you're seeing here, front view.
I'm assuming 0 is flat to the ground.
Yeah, 0. The origin would be 0, 0. Yeah. And the origin is, when you place it in game, you get that that gizmo that shows up. The X, Y, and Z one. That is always 0, 0 in your model.
Yep.
And you can have it go lower than that. This is why some of our lofts go lower than that automatically anyway, so you don't have to lower or raise them.
Yeah.
I personally like to 0, 0 them and then let you guys dig them in a bit deeper if you need to.
Yep, it works. Makes sense that because obviously you can hide them under where you've got some tricky terrain. And that it's always good to have a little bit of extra play. Shoot the bandit. Good evening, Matt. Is this castle-cladding lofts? No, it's not. Good evening as well to you, Benedict J Brown as well. Good evening. Always love the way how your routes have been made for the 21st century. We try and keep them future-proof.
We try our best.
We do try our best. Thank you for the kind words. Glad you're enjoying them.
So, what I'm doing here is I'm just I'm unwrapping the model. So I'm turning a 3D object into a 2D image. So as you can see, the right side replicates this face, the left side is this one, and I've got the bit in the middle just to show me the top. I've added these extra lines. I'm going to remove these later for the sake of geometry, because you want as little geometry as you can on lofts. Just to help me know when I'm doing the texture where to put the concrete. And it'll all make sense in a minute, I promise. So,
it all makes sense to me once it looks like a fence and has textures, I think.
Yeah, once it's done, it'll make sense, So I'm just going to render this template. I like to work big and then scale down. So I'll go for a 2048 by 2048, render my template, save this out.
Could you at all bring them windows to the left in a little bit, just so people on the stream can see what you're putting in onto? Also, Ingo Grell, thank you for the like. Good evening. I can see it. It's just very, very slightly on the left-hand side windows are just a little bit off the screen.
Oh, yeah, you can't see my tools. Okay, I'll change that over in a second. I've got no control over that just now.
No problem.
I'm just going to quickly create a new folder for now, just for...
Ben loves unwrapping lofts. So easy.
Oh, they are so easy.
Well, a lot easier than a station.
Oh, mate, don't even get me started.
Have you done any unwrapping yet on Reading Station?
Yeah, I've been going crazy on Reading, mate.
Yeah.
So we'll call this loft template. So the only thing you've got to remember when making lofts is it's the profile of the loft that gets repeated. So you can't have what's known as convex, or you can't have any convex corners on it, so you can't have it come out on itself or in on itself and expect that to repeat. you have to bring those in as separate assets and then tell it how often to populate that object. This will make sense when I do the fence posts, but
Yeah.
Let's quickly save this out as a JPEG. The first one making this might be a bit slow because I'm explaining as I go, but after this, I should bomb through them so you can see what I'm doing. Did I render that out? I don't know if I did.
Benedict J. Brown would love to recommend a route in the future if you could do Southend Victoria to London Liverpool Street, as the Southend is missing in TS and it's your hometown. We can always add it to that list. You never know. One day.
One day. I mean, never say never when it comes to routes.
We never say never. We always like to hear what people would like to see in TS. Ben Ripstart, one thing you could notice possibly is your UV doesn't have to have reached the top and the bottom of the UV.
No, that's an old habit of mine that I do all the time. It's because I like to work with everything in square, and then I make sure that it's correctly scaled in max. It's just a habit that it's
I suppose that's the way you've obviously learned things, and you've just adopted that method, I assume.
It is. Unfortunately, I'm a terrible person when it comes to.
I'm the same with route building because I build in such a way that I've always adopted stuff from before TS14 brought new gizmos and stuff in.
Oh yeah, you get real iffy about using the new one, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just so used to using the old way. I just find it quicker. I do try and adopt the new method in times, and
when Mark has a go at you.
Yeah, I've started to use it more when like putting certain assets in like station stuff, but I just find the other way quick for me. Aaron Thomas, do you take photos of the building from your camera or use Google Street View?
Pardon, sorry?
Basically, Aaron Thomas is asking, do we take photos of the buildings with the camera or do we use Street View? It's a mixture, really.
It's a bit of both, really. A lot of what I do is from Street View.
I mean, at the minute, with COVID and everything, we can't physically we haven't been able to do any field trips to places, so we have had to rely a lot on Flickr, Google Earth, Street View, and stuff like that. Sadly, at the moment, but once everything obviously lifts and we can go out, we can play out again, we can go and have our days out and do these proper trips.
Have our lads on doors, lads on
tour. That's it.
Yeah.
Lads day out.
Lads day out.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've done a research trip, hasn't it?
It has been a little while, I'm afraid, but you know, I've booked my jab now.
Yeah,
so...
you're booked in, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got that next Friday now, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's a nice day out.
Yeah, nice day out.
It's a day out, isn't it? Excuse me. Got the theme for never say never in your head again now, Jackson guy. Even Jack Skeldon. I'd like to see a route from Ireland made sometime. Never say never. I mean, obviously, it's a bit harder for us to get to Ireland. Obviously, for research trips, it's not obviously like a day out as we can get to there and back. But again, never. Maruf Ahmed, thank you very much for the light. Good evening.
Perhaps we could convince 4D to have a paid trip to Ireland for a day, for a weekend or something.
Holiday. I mean, we can get the ferry there.
No, not holiday, mate. Research trip.
Holiday.
Right. So I'm just trying to neaten up these textures a little bit, make it so it's not going to be repeating too hard.
Sorry, I spoke over there.
That's all right. I didn't catch what you were saying, mate.
I was just saying to Ben, we are all creatures of habit.
Unfortunately, so. Especially when it comes to me and my work. Goodness. One of these days, I'll remember winter textures.
Can you put some winter texture on these?
I could do actually. I rarely
have to do too much. Would it just be the top parts? Are they 3D these, or are they like flat plane?
So what they are going to be flat because they have to be, but the posts won't be flat. So right now I'm just sort of doing some Photoshop wizardry.
Yeah.
Where
I assume this is sort of like keep it sort of like repeating and stuff and just adding variation to it, is it?
Yeah, so one of the tricks I like to do with Lofts is I like to flip if it's like a fence post like this, I'll create this kind of U-shape, sort of upside down U-shape, N-shape style thing for the main loft itself. Yeah. Even if it's like got a transparency to it. and then that way it gives it a bit more depth.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm with you.
If I wanted to take it to the next level, I could put the beams in, but because the beams are going to be on the back side of the fence.
Yeah.
I'm just going to texture them in because it's just unused polys that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Um,
Spotting southeast. Good evening. Also, Retifus. Retifus has got his jab. Oh, he's getting jabbed on Sunday.
oh,
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Willow. Good evening as well. I saw another message actually. Shoot the bandit a beer sampling trip to Ireland. We can go research the Guinness factory.
yeah, that'd be great.
Get a route going past there. Team Traction, good evening. What have you missed? So Will's making some fence lofts this evening, so you've not missed much. He's done the plane. Am I right? Am I calling it a plane?
Yeah. I've done a nice plane for the loft.
So we're now doing some Photoshop wizardry at the minute, just getting all this prepared to obviously texture and stuff. So there's going to be how many are you planning to do this evening, Will?
As many as I can fit in.
As many as you can fit in. Excellent stuff.
Because you and Mark have been very demanding today.
We are very demanding.
What I have to make.
Well, this only comes around once a month, you know.
Yeah.
We've got to get as much as we can out of you.
That's it.
This is extra goodies for us. This.
I've been so focused with Reading now. It's like this is all you get from me now.
Well, speaking of Reading, there's going to be. Is it this week, Will?
Yes. So this Friday, we're going to be doing a afternoon stream for a couple of hours. Where we're going to be doing I'm going to be doing a bit of Reading development. If anyone wants to see how that's coming on.
So do join us. If you're obviously not elsewhere, obviously at work and stuff like that. if you're able to. Don't be getting.
If not, you'll be able to watch it later and stuff
like
that.
Anyway. It'll be on Twitch, YouTube, and
it'll
Facebook.
Be everywhere. Okay, so I've got my beams on the back. I've got my front side, my clean front side, because you rarely have beams on the front. I'm now going to try and find some concrete slabs, which I didn't research because I wasn't going to do concrete slabs to begin with. So let's see what we can find. This is a website I use all the time.
Is this 3D texture.com, is it?
Yep, this is in my opinion, just one of the best sources for photoreal textures.
I could have done a research trip for you. I could have gone and took a picture of my fence.
Yeah, mate, that would have been great.
I might go and do it one day.
Yeah, just go take a picture of your fence. Just do it during a thunderstorm. That'd be great, mate.
I've got bad paint on it. Like it's not got very good textures. The paint's worn off. I need to repaint them.
I need to paint my fence. I'm getting terrible with it. But I've noticed the fences up north are different to the fences down south.
Oh, why?
Yeah, because I've got gaps in my fence.
Oh well, it's a lot windier up north.
It is a lot windier up north, that's for sure. Because I've got that like featherboard style stuff. You know what I mean? Where it's just like I've got the beams and just a bunch of featherboards stapled to it. Alright, so this is going to go under here.
Right, I've just missed something there. Can we have barbed wire on a horse? Is that what they have in Castleford? Aaron Thomas says, will you do a stream on the blueprint editor? He's been having trouble exporting models.
Yeah, I'm going to be going over the blueprint editor in this one, actually.
There you are. Excellent stuff. Keep with us, Aaron. You will see some
I like to show
on.
the entire process from building it to getting it in game.
Last time?
Yeah, we did some blueprint last time.
I can't remember. It's been that long. I think it was getting quite quicker towards then, weren't it? Because obviously we were getting quite late on into the evening.
Yeah, I got way too carried away with detail in that last model. But man, it looked good. I was so chuffed with how that turned out. Alright, so let's make these a bit darker. Another bad habit I've got, which I'm fairly certain is going to start annoying Callum, is I collapse my images way too often. So like I'll do multiple layers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I will just like a lot of the time I'll just stop and then select all my layers and merge the layers, so I can't edit
Yeah.
them after that. Which is it's a terrible habit I've picked up.
Mhm.
And like Callum's like, oh, can I have a look at this file and see how you done that? It's like, yeah, I can send you the file over, but you won't get anything from it. That's closer to what I want.
James, good evening. So then you can have your house in TS. To be quite fair, I've actually got my house in TS. Although it's on the tramway route that we was doing.
That's cancelled. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not bitter though, mate. You're not bitter.
No,
No.
I still get to play with it. Just have
Yeah,
a
mate.
fictional drive around on it.
Did you ever get close to finishing it?
No,
No.
no. There's still quite big gaps in it. There was a lot of missing assets, obviously, that we couldn't get to that stage. So I've kept the project. It's on my PC. It's on the shelf.
Oh no, I think Photoshop's just crashed on me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah,
We don't want that.
Photoshop has
Oh
just
no.
bottomed out. Alright, let's see how much we've lost. This only happens when I'm streaming.
Is Photoshop known for being really, really buggy like that? Is it just because you're doing so much?
It's really not that bad usually. I've only had like crashing issues for like the last year or so. Thankfully, the autosave is banging on this
Oh, you've
software.
not lost too much, have you?
No, I've lost my my gradient fill, but that's fine.
Evening, Bartes Chris. Good to see you, mate. Oh, Jake's not a fan of the new design of textures.com.
Yeah. Oh, that took me so long to get used to. Like I wasn't expecting it. I just woke up one day and loaded it up for work, and I was like, "The hell is this?" Merge layers. I'm moving too fast on my PC now. Right. Merge them down. Edit image. Crop. And then we're going to go image size, get it back to square. But we're going to reduce the resolution of this so that it actually runs alright in game. One thing that's really annoying about working in 4K is I get all these visual bugs in Photoshop, which I don't think are supposed to be there.
So when you say visual bugs, what do you mean?
So I keep getting like my toolbars don't populate properly, or like I get like a strip of pixels at the top, which just don't change when I move the canvas around and stuff like that.
Does that fix itself though when you obviously come to putting it in the game? Is it just a thing on that program?
Well, it's a thing with 3ds Max as well. It's to do with UI scaling and Windows not doing it properly.
Yeah.
So.
Question for Team Traction: what resolutions do you use for your textures? He uses 1024, which Ace Tool seems to like.
It depends on the type of asset. So for this, because it's quite a basic asset and it's going to be seen at distance and quite close, I'm going to try 512. But if it looks too pixely, I'll size it up to 1024. But the way I work is I rarely do a big texture for everything.
You got to think of FPS as well, aren't you, and stuff like that.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's better to load 16 1K images than it is to load one 4K image, you know?
You got to think as well, what else are you putting in that area on your route? Are you going to be having more custom assets that may be having big textures? So you need to obviously compensate for other things that may take more priority.
If you go for the smaller textures, like oh, that might be a bit too low res looking at it. I'll go for the 1024, the 1K image. It has to be a power 2, otherwise Blueprint kicks up a massive error. So by power 2, I mean like 8, 16, 32, 64. You know, like Just think data sizes like 1024, that sort of thing. So JCTV, streams, no, yeah, scenery, new folder, procedural. Probably spelled that right. I'm not 100% confident. Been a long day.
Would like to run it past me.
Like you're any help, mate. The amount of stuff you miss. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. So 1, and we are golden for our texture. Let's bring this into our model. So I can now just go. My keyboard's running out of power, so it keeps flickering.
Your town at the minute, the whole power is just getting drained to your house.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's
else's
it.
lights are just flickering. Oh, Will's got Photoshop open again.
Yeah, oh, my machine does pull on the power a little. So this needs a special texture. It needs a loft diffuse, I believe. Loft text diffuse. I haven't made a loft in a while actually. I've been really lazy with it. Oh.
So James, yeah, these fences will go on to the Southwestern Expressways route. They'll go on my personal stuff well after the fences are used and released. I can't use stuff until it's released. I have to wait. So once we release a route that uses these assets, then they'll be used because everyone else can use them as well. You'll be able to use them on your own stuff at home, whether you're doing freeware stuff or whatever. Yeah. So currently, Southwestern Expressways will be the only route that'll have them. Harland will then use them after that, and then onwards. Hope Valley will have them because obviously Common Library will go out to that developer as well.
Mhm.
So you'll see them on there. But moving forward, we'll have a lot more variety in fences.
All right, so that's it on
certainly a
one. I don't like these concrete panels underneath. I'm going to make those a bit bigger.
Mhm.
Probably twice the size. Just for the sake of tiling. See, this is the issue with collapsing your layers, because then you have to be a bit more finicky. Oh, goodness.
Bear with me for 2 moments. I'm going to do a quick dash to the kitchen and grab a drink.
Righto, mate. Right. Save as. I always save out in DDS. I prefer to work in DDS because I could never get the RWA's tool to work properly for me. And RW tools is just even buggier for me. Right. So that is kind of what I was looking for. So you've got the one side facing, and then you've got the other side with the beams on it, just to add a bit of visual detail. I can now get rid of these extra lines which don't need to be there. And this is now, I'd probably say, quite a nice, well-detailed loft. Oh goodness. Big a few boards. Statistics. I always work in tries when it comes to 3ds Max and TS because all the documentation is written in tries. So this is 6 tries. That's then going to be repeated over and over and over. What Photoshop? I'm using Creative Cloud Photoshop. I've got a subscription to it, and I prefer the updates, even if it does make it a bit more buggy. But the tools are a lot more user-friendly. And there's a new one coming out, which is Super Resolution, which really looks interesting, which I hope works how I expect it to.
Hello.
So, hello.
Hello.
I've got the fence now, how I want it to be, and I'm now just going to make a fence post.
I'm not sure if you've answered. Have you answered any questions off the chat at all?
I've done it. Oh, I haven't seen all of them.
No.
What
And there's
size
one
is your loft?
sizes.
This one is. Oh wait, let's go straight up. Sorry about this. I am concentrating on 2 things at once.
I didn't know if you'd answer while I was away.
So is 4K is the largest you want to go. TS can handle larger than 4K. The like we showed last week with those decals I did. Those were easily like 16K, I think.
Daryl Pointer, thank you very much for the like. Good evening to you.
Good evening. What size is my loft? This one's a 2 meter loft. Because normally fence posts come in 2 meters by 1 meter 80. I like to have that kind of realism to it. I only know this because I've had to fence so many different gardens in my life. I'm an avid DIYer, unfortunately. So I'm just going to add a little bit of detail with these lofts. Ooh.
Yep.
I've personally never made a track loft. It's something I want to do. I just haven't gotten round to it, I guess.
That makes sense.
So I can't really say whether or not it's different. I can't imagine it's a million miles off. So I'm just going to eyeball the height of this post.
Is the method you're showing us currently different for track lofts?
I did just answer that one, mate.
Oh, I was probably sort of half and half reading something else.
Well, you're...
No, that's fine. I was sort of like between two windows there.
Yeah, whose else's stream are you watching, mate?
No one's actually. I had an email thing going. I was reading an email through work. Getting on top, ready for tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Busy day tomorrow.
Yeah. Morning calls.
Right. These tend to taper a little bit towards the top.
So that's is this the little details you sort of like the way it points up in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
That's not quite right, but I can move these back down because I got them kind of how I want them to be.
2.5 foot track. I assume that's narrow. Is that like narrow? Very narrow, isn't it? That? No, I haven't actually.
I don't know. Is that like mini railway or something?
Miniature railway stuff, that isn't it?
Sounds very small.
It's smaller than narrow gauge. I don't know. I'm rubbish with sizes. So miniature's 15-inch. So is this even? This I assume is it smaller? Standard's 4 foot. Hornby.
Can't imagine you can fit much on
I'm alright with standard. I know that one. I'm rubbish with like narrow gauge and stuff like that.
I can guarantee you, mate, you're better than I am. That's for sure. So I'm gonna give this a actual name. So this one's gonna be 1_. What distance do we want this fence post to render in? 200 meters. Sounds about fair.
I'm trying to think.
Let's go 200 and we'll look at it in game and see if it disappears a bit too easily.
I'll give you an idea.
Yeah. So we got that. We'll call it post 1.
I'm just thinking, obviously, when you're driving towards something, if it pops into view and you're quite on a flat piece of land and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
we'll find out.
The loft's going to be there. It's the post that's going to be a bit different, I think, because the post can pop in, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, let's have a look at it. We'll try on 200 and see what's what.
We'll have a look at it. I'll make the fence post visible. The fence for 500 meters.
Yeah.
Because it's really low poly. It's not going to cause any FPS issues. So that would be 500 fence W1. I now need to just throw a texture on for this. I'll get a nice dirty concrete texture.
So your narrow gauge, the 2.5 foot tracks for a upcoming project. TS hates anything smaller than 2 foot, so you can't do 15-inch trains. It's quite strange how it doesn't like that. Really, you think it just with a smaller train, it'd be the same sort of stuff, but I don't understand physics and stuff like that. It's well below above my skill set. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I've not really dabbled too much with
is it to do with?
locos
I'm assuming
and
is it
tracks.
something to do with the motion of the rods and stuff on smaller locos or something that it doesn't like? Was it is that throughout like diesel and steam and electric narrow stuff, tiny trains? I'm sort of guessing here. I'm trying to get my head around it. You'd think it'd work whatever the size of the train in the game, wouldn't you? But it's quite mad.
I can imagine it's something with the physics engine causes it to go a
Hmm.
bit skew-if.
It must be sort of like the mechanics of the rods and stuff and the all that sort of stuff. So it's anything narrow due to the power, it can launch you off the rails. Oh right,
See, I've
interesting.
struggled to get anything to launch off the rails in TS, and I've tried.
You're not going fast enough.
I've really tried. Do you remember that
I
ramp
do.
I made?
That was a failed attempt.
That was horrifically failed.
Will's ski jump did not work.
Yeah, the AI wouldn't drive it even after I put it up to
No.
like 300 mile an hour.
Evening, Jack Taylor. James put in the fence post. Is it going to match the loft, i.e., some dirt?
Yeah, I might put some dirt on it. I'm really tempted to put some dirt on it because it looks a bit off when you don't.
Yeah. Also, OTS Josh. Good evening. Just beards. Will's rocking a better beard than me.
Yeah, I forgot to shave before streaming, so I'm a bit scruffy today. My apologies.
Dancing Monkey One. Good evening. You're confused. What's going on? So Will's making some fence lofts at the moment for
I'm making some
fruits.
pretty assets.
So once a month we do the asset development stream where Will comes and shows his handiwork and does something different each time. So last one, if you was around, you'd have seen it was the camera tripod. So this time, something we've needed for a long time within our asset library as well is fence lofts. This way, you'll not see the same two fences throughout routes anymore, with the extra variations. We'll probably still use the other ones because they'll still be handy to use, but it's just nice to have some extra different types.
Well,
Just so
variety's a spice of life. You know how
yeah,
it is.
yeah. Well, as you know, the country doesn't have two only types of fences.
Right, so let's go for a
Mr. Transport Guy, good evening.
train basic.
Thank God indeed, Josh. Yeah, Will's on Photoshop, and the minute he's on Max.
Yeah, Photoshop
He's on
3ds
Photoshop
Max.
as well. And the texture site is textures.com,
hmm
which he gets the texture references off.
This is where we get most of our stuff, our textures at JT. Purely because I don't have the time to go out and get all my images.
If it was for a specific building, obviously at the minute we can't do it, but if we was to do a research trip, for example, say we went to go and see a station, and that station had a particular type of design on the floor, for example, like not just obviously tarmac or brickwork. It could have a mosaic, for example, a mosaic sort of like effect on the floor or something. You could just go for the photo side on that. Then we'll usually you sort of create these textures, well, don't you? Just
Yeah,
do photo.
I make a lot of my own custom textures. Because a lot of the time you just can't find what you're looking for, and that tiles really heavily. I'm not going to do it the quick way.
Ooh.
Oh, I guess I'll do this properly.
Well, you sound like it's that was an effort.
Yeah, it's the issue is I'm a very lazy person. So I don't. I'm not a massive fan of doing it this way, but sure I'll survive. So I'm just doing what I did before, where I'm turning it into like the 3D object into a 2D image.
Yep.
The keyboard died.
If it's not Photoshop, it's the keyboard.
Ah, my keyboard's died. 1 second. Goodness.
Do you want me to the shop and get some batteries?
Yeah, mate. Double A's if you will, mate.
Double A's. I'll see if I've got some on my desk. I'll pass them over to you.
Okay, I've got power back to my keyboard.
Let's just hope your headset doesn't die, because you never know.
Oh, don't. That's my biggest fear. The amount of times I've gone live and not even realising my mic's not been turned on or something silly.
Team traction. Hang on. So plus the cameras clip any small RAM with you. So obviously smaller space. I assume it's hard to have that the camera in the game. Obviously capture it all. I'm assuming to fit in that space.
Hmm. Because the clipping and the rendered and the drawing distance is
Yeah,
like really
I mean you
awkward.
can get clipping, can't you, on bigger locos where you can see like if you look at a certain angle, you can sort of see the cab gets chopped out, depending on
Yeah.
your field of view and stuff like that.
Oh, there's a loco that we have that's very famous for that. I can't think of
Oh,
it. Was it a Voyager? I think it might be a Voyager. If you turn your camera in a certain way, you can cut through the cab.
oh, trying to think.
I know that
I
Eurostar
don't
train
know
was
if it's the
famous
Voyager
was
because the
terrible for
Voyager's
it.
got quite a central seat. It could possibly be. Oh, if it was the S8 actually, I don't think it's the S8.
No, I don't think it was the S8 because
No,
that camera is actually locked, so you can only twist it a certain amount.
yeah, I can't remember. That bugged me now.
Sorry, I'm sure it'll get bugged at some point anyway.
The AP37 cab clips. I think yeah, I've noticed it on that.
I don't have
Nigel,
any
take care.
AP stuff installed, so
Yeah, yeah. Take care, Nigel. Thank you very much for joining.
have a good one, Nige. Alright, so
So the 150/2 you can see out of the back cab into the track.
oh goodness.
Could be the 67 or the 60. I can't remember, to be honest. I really
I
can't
can't
remember.
remember. My memory's like a sieve nowadays.
All days bash into one.
Yeah. Getting close to 30, that's the issue. You beat
I'm
me
already
there,
past
mate.
it. I'm already past it. Any chance of looking into the Voyager brakes? Currently, we can't do anything with the Voyager brakes because we haven't got anyone within our team that touches anything like that. We're obviously, like I say, I'm a route builder, so I have no knowledge in that. I don't think you got the stuff to do with that, have you, Will?
No,
It's
unfortunately,
something we'd like to look at, but at the moment we haven't got anyone in between our team that does that stuff. Obviously, we used to have a developer, obviously, that built the trains for us, but he doesn't work with us anymore, unfortunately.
no, we've sort of parted ways.
Yeah. Again, well, if it comes a time that we can do something with them, then we certainly will do our very best to get them looked at. It was being looked at one point, but we sort of lost contact with another developer on it, and that it just sort of it
Yeah,
went
we
quiet.
had another developer looking at it, and he kind of
Yeah.
ghosted us on it, so it never really got finished.
Malar 222 as well has an issue where the lights don't load until right next to it. Again, the same sort of thing where we can't really do anything. We haven't got that skill set within us lot. But again, if it comes to time that we can get them things looked at, then we certainly will.
Mm.
Not a problem, Joshua.
It's
Don't
important
worry,
to
it's not
send
stuff
in.
we've forgotten about.
It's probably best to send in a support ticket anyway on it, just so that
Yeah, definitely.
because like I said, my memory's terrible, and Tom's is just as bad. So
I'm an old man now.
well, yeah, mate. Unfortunately, um,
Just to improve my skills and then I can do it. If only. I still can't build signs. Do I think an AP would do an enhancement pack for the 221, 220, and 222? Who knows? Only AP could answer that, unfortunately. We don't know.
I'm just trying to add a little bit of
This adding a bit of grime to it, is it?
yeah,
A little bit of moss.
a little bit of moss, a little bit of yellow, a little bit more moss. I'm just gonna. That's a bit too mossy. Oh, goodness, I've been not doing it on a separate layer. Bad will.
Bad will. James, can I thank Will for telling you about the websites for the textures? Just found some textures that do nice for Rust and behind it. Yep, there you go. So
Oh,
you've got to thank you.
glad to help. This is why we're doing this, so that we can help people
Pass on
get into it.
any
You know,
tips.
I mean, I'm an advocate for sharing the wealth. You know.
Dancing Monkey, yeah. Garden fences are tonight's topic. What Will is creating under the lofts.
So I've got loads of texture space left on this still,
Mhm.
which I'm going to use for other posts potentially.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unused space on this, and I'm going to keep revisiting this texture. So um, that was the wrong one to blur.
Would there ever be a rework of the bogies on the Voyager? It comes under the same thing again, unfortunately. Obviously, we haven't got anyone within us in the team that models trains as such to that capacity. Obviously, Will's dabbled in bits and pieces, but
Yeah,
currently
I've
at
done
the
some bits
moment,
on the essay.
yeah.
I don't know what bogies they use. If it's like
Well, I don't have a clue.
this is my biggest issue with
Yeah.
developing stock. Like trying to find this sort of technical stuff is impossible.
Mm.
Right,
It just comes under one of the things again. If we can do something, it'll be a case that we can revisit. But at the moment, we just ain't really able to do them things, unfortunately. But it's stuff we haven't forgotten about, and it's not been left and not to be thought of. It just comes under the time that if we are able to, then we will do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you know, the JT's gone under quite a few different like
Sort of restructures, really, isn't it?
restructures. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's businessy
Things
stuff
have
doing
changed over the
business.
years,
You
haven't
know,
they? Yeah. But you know what we're like with JT. We don't like to leave things.
no.
We always like to make sure everything's right and up to date and updated where we can possibly do things. But yeah, just a case of just bearing with us and hoping that one day we may be able to do these bits and pieces.
I mean, we are always learning as we go. You know,
Oh,
goodness, the amount of stuff I learn. Like 3ds Max, for example. I've been using 3ds Max for the best part of a decade. Like, and I still learn stuff every day. It's quite honestly a pain, but still. Right. That's looking a bit better.
nice.
Okay, so that's my post.
Yep.
And I've got my fence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide said post. For those wondering what I was using to unwrap the fence with and the post with, it's a tool you can download called Text Tools. This has made my life incredibly easy when it comes to unwrapping. I used to hate unwrapping and texturing until I had this tool. You can find it, I think it's available for Blender as well. And it basically lets you, it gives you a whole bunch of extra tools for the UV editor, so you can iron out polys, you can stitch them together, and it just makes everything a bit more concise, and you can hotkey them all as well with custom hotkeys.
Mm.
So yeah, this tool has literally saved me months of work. And that's just working at JT, you know, goodness.
So there's many little features on there. I could just about make them all out.
Yeah, it's got like open inverted shop stuff, swap channels.
Yeah.
I barely use half of these. The only ones I really use are iron and stitch.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's in my opinion, it's an invaluable tool. So I should probably save this.
Yeah, please save.
I've picked up a really bad habit of not saving my work as I make them. I'll get to the end of a model and then I'll just be like, oh, it's still untitled, you know. I've gotten so used to 3ds Max just being stable. Procedural. So this one's going to be JT.
It's a question for me there. Would you rebuild the Western Main Line or East Coast Main Line, Newcastle to Edinburgh, as Dunbar has a second platform? We've got no plan to do that, unfortunately, at this current time. Dancing Monkey. Mallard, Dan's got a question for you, Will. Whilst
Mhm.
Will's here, how difficult would it be to improve a texture of a rock face asset off Midland Mainline Ambergate Junction? As when you pass it, it's low res. To be quite fair, that asset isn't actually a JT asset. It's a asset used under the Kuju list, so it wouldn't be something we could really do. We don't
I
reskins, do we?
mean, we don't we can't reskin
No, it gets
Kuju
complicated when
stuff.
we start doing installs, doesn't it? As well,
The only way it would be possible is if we swapped it out for another custom.
it'd have to be a case of building a new rock face, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it is definitely possible. It's probably worth putting it as a bug and sending it in, or putting it on Podio, and if I got time and get round to it. But considering how long it's been like that, I think we might just have to let it slide for now.
So it could be a case that if we ever do a route, obviously that has rock faces, then we could get new rock faces made. Then it could be a case then we'll just go back and revisit and just change stuff.
Yeah, I know. Callum's good with rock faces.
He's done some very nice rock faces. Team Tractions asked as well, how many polys would you say is maximum you would put in for a track loft?
For
Do
a
you know?
track loft?
Have you ever dealt with doing track lofts?
I've not dealt with track lofts, but I wouldn't personally try-wise. I probably wouldn't aim to go over 100 because you don't want to get like because you're gonna see it on your it's going to be rendering that out every 5 or so meters, so you can easily bog down your FPS and stuff like that. In my opinion, with lofts, it's best to keep them as simple as possible, whether it's a track loft or a fence loft or stuff like that. I remember I made that. I made a terraced house loft, which I made for, I think it might have been Cornish.
Yeah.
And it never actually got put in a route because when it was laid down, it was so complicated. It caused major FPS drops, so we just had to get rid of it. Yeah, I like using lofts for things they weren't intended for,
Yeah.
because I'm weird like that. Fence post 01. Just realised I've saved that other one out as a wrong format.
Random thought from James. With a loft, is it possible to make like a broken fence, or is that possible only to do like as a 3D section?
So if I do a broken fence, I would do it as like a.
Would you do it as a separate place one, so you can just dot it every so often?
Yeah, because you can't have like a you can't have the model go out and in on itself. It can't be a convex shape.
Yeah.
So for example, it couldn't do. Goodness. You can't do something which comes out and then goes back in. If you did that, it would throw up errors and it wouldn't render properly and stuff like that. However, you can. Oh my goodness. You can have the shape that it profile. You can have the profile as complicated as you like. So you could have like this sort of thing, and it will render that out. In fact, some of the fence posts I do, and I might be doing tonight, I'm going to be doing something like that with the free. I don't remember what we called it. The farm style fence. You know what I mean, Tom?
Like.
So the one where it's like 3 boards across a piece of post.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that every so often there's a section where you could put your head through it, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
So you can see through them. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Mocked up flat bottom rail and it's 400 tries. I wouldn't take my word on it as gold, but personally saying I probably wouldn't go over 100. But give it a try. If it doesn't drag on FPS, it doesn't drag on FPS.
Yeah, trying to mind my fence with my arms like that, waving my hands up in the air in sections, like you can see what I mean.
Oh, I got it's just like did you ever watch that Home Improvement show with Tim Allen?
No.
No, they had a neighbour who whenever you saw them, you only saw like the top half of his face because he was always looking over the fence.
Yeah.
And like they made it into like a proper joke where like if you whenever you saw that character away from that sort of setting, you'd only ever see the top half of his face, like he'd be holding like a newspaper or something. Just do that, have you like peering over the top of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Um, so let's make a blueprint for the loft. That should be
There we go.
okay
So
now.
I think it was Aaron that asked about the blueprint editor before. So this is one for you
hmm
if you're still here.
So I'm going to add an item by right-clicking the folder and go add item. It's a blueprint and it's a loft section blueprint. And that's named horrifically, so I'll quickly rename that. Goodness. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to get the loft working first, and then I populate it with fence posts. Sorry if my face goes really red when I've got a white screen on. I've noticed this is why my face was so red in that other stream, because I had a white page in front of me. So, in our cross-section ID, we're going to put the IGS of the loft itself.
hmm
And then, in theory, I believe that should be enough to test it.
No problem.
Let's give it a quick name.
I've got a couple of things for you here in the chat. I'll let you do this
hmm
first so you do it right.
That's right. You can shoot. I'm just typing.
No problem. Just want to distract you. So any tips on reducing polys?
Um. Oh, that's a tough one because
Ooh.
it's very dependent on the model.
Mhm.
Very dependent on the model. Right, that hasn't worked. Now, this is where I'm going to spend the entire night trying to get this one loft working. Oh, I see why. I think I posted it with both.
And the other question is, could you at all, possibly, if you have time, do a recording of yourself doing any of these steps? I'm not. Do you mean as in steps with the blueprint editor there, Team Traction, or do you mean as in like the whole process? Because this will be going on YouTube, so it'll be always on our YouTube channel. Um, it'll be on Twitch for about 2 weeks, and it'll still on Facebook. You'll just have to find it. But your best place to find this is go back to our YouTube page, and then just go to that section. So for this video, it's gonna be about an hour in. So you just look for this stream, and then you'll be able to watch that. So you can just flip back whenever if you need to have a look at it and just sort of like refresh yourself. It may be a
Yeah,
case of something maybe you could do one day. Will actually is like a smaller, like a separate little video, just how to do blueprint editor or something.
yeah, that'd be good. I mean, like, because I would have loved something like that.
Hmm. I know it's not everything's always well documented, is it?
Oh no, definitely not. Um,
Something maybe a little small blueprint video may be quite handy. Just
hmm,
talking through the steps or something.
that'd be good.
Hmm.
I mean, I've got videos on my YouTube of me doing stuff like that.
hmm
Obviously, I'm not going to plug that in JT just yet. Um, so I'm just going to reset all those.
And there's another question again from Team Traction. So, does Backface culling reduce frame hits?
Yes, it does. So obviously, when you're a material editor, um, when you're in material editor, you have the two-sided option down here and the material options. I've been told that having that selected does really impact FPS. It makes
hmm
sense that it would impact because it's rendering two sides at once.
Yeah.
Um, so I try not to use two-sided textures unless it's for like a sign or something or a fence post that I want to be purposely 2D but not look 2D. If that makes any sense.
But yeah, it's over my head, but I'm sure it'll make sense to someone.
Just quick check I've got the right kind of. Yeah, that's right. Shader on it. There you go.
Ooh.
So this is how the loft's going to look in game. Obviously without the fence post. I haven't told the fence post to populate yet.
So this is just as an asset currently.
This is just the loft. So this is the bit that you're going to be seeing and placing down. The fence post gets called as a child object that you populate every so often. So what you need to do is you need to create a XML by creating scenery blueprint. And then tell it to exclude from browser list because you don't need to see this at all. One thing we always do is set the detail generation to 10 on its highest. That way, if somebody is playing with scenery density lower than 10, it's always going to show. It's kind of because a lot of the time, if you're playing on scenery density 9 or like 7, we've had issues where scenery just doesn't show at all, regardless of how many LODs it has. Because I think the game expects you to make 10 LODs, but a lot of assets don't need 10 LODs.
That makes sense.
I don't think I've ever put 10 LODs on an asset, thinking about it. But, so now we've got that. We'll load back up quickly export it into game. We'll take the XML, and we'll go start geometry. So the provider is JTTV. This would be the first file in your source library. The product is stream. I'll change this all for the common library, don't worry, Tom.
Yep, no, that's fine.
And then you put in the scenery procedural fence post. You can just copy and paste that.
Okay.
And because we want the same on both ends and in the middle, we can just copy the whole set and post it into the middle and end. See? And then that saves us having to type it out loads of times. And now we tell it how frequently we want it to populate. Now our fence post is 2 meters tall, so we want it to populate every 2 meters. And if we run it, we now have fence posts. It's important to remember the width of your loft, so that when you come to populating the extra detail like fence posts, you can make it populate at every point you want it to populate. So what I'm going to do is, now I know that works, I'm going to make a very quick winter texture. So this winter texture is purely just going to be get some snow. Do I do it like Callum did it, where he's actually edited the geometry? No, that's too complicated for now. Maybe on the next one. So just find a nice little snow. Make sure it's seamless. There's one I always use. Where is it? I think it's this one. So I'll just take that into Photoshop.
Yep. So you get to choose the resolution as well. Do you get to choose the resolution on them as well, them textures?
Yeah, so you can get them at a higher res or a lower res because I use a free account. Because I haven't gotten around to asking JT to fund me a proper account. I find it tends to be it just tends to be easier to do it this way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So everything, like, I make do with what I can get is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I don't want snow to come down too far. And I'll just rough it up a little. Another handy tool that I use on Photoshop that I discovered is you can download a mega pack of brushes which has all the brushes you can possibly have, like possibly want, you know, like ink brushes and wet
Oh,
media
yeah,
brushes.
you've used this before on something. You showed me this. It's quite cool.
Yeah, I did this a lot on the graffiti stuff when I was doing the
Yeah.
graffiti, because you can just like add different colors and get them to blend really nicely, you
Hmm.
know. And that was an amazing find. I just found randomly one day, you know. Um, because snow makes things wet. Technical speak now. Snow makes things wet. I'm gonna add just a
That,
little bit of
that's
shadow.
JT funds go to Tom's bank once a month.
Once a month, yeah. I mean, you gotta be laughing, mate. You do all the streams, and I've taken one of them off you.
I know.
You know,
I'm here still.
I've given you a day off a month now.
I'm still here.
Oh, my
I'm
apologies,
still
mate.
here. No, it's all good. I like to go and watch. I like to learn.
You like to watch, do you, mate?
I like to learn and see what's going on.
So just make it a bit darker for winter, and then we'll save this one out as post. So to create a winter texture, you just add a prefix underscore wi, and that gives you a winter texture.
Hmm.
And Photoshop always closes itself whenever you save a DDS, or it's just my Photoshop being super buggy.
It says as he flicks through Flickr. Oh, he flicks through Facebook. No, I've got Facebook open. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hope the reason you got Facebook open is because you're looking at the stream, mate.
Yes.
Yes,
No, to be fair, I've got the stream open on Twitch,
fair enough.
so I have it on full screen there. I've got the other chat windows open mainly on the other screen. You see, through the web browser, because obviously you've got the main chat log, haven't you?
Yes.
You
Doesn't
run it through
mean
the
I'm
program.
looking at it.
Oh no, I've got it on
So,
2 tabs. So I like to see what's going on as well with the analytics side.
it's always interesting to see the analytics.
Oh, it is.
So I'm just gonna.
Tom's taking Scott's place. No, definitely not. Scott's still got his place. I don't think Scott's here tonight, actually. I assume football must be on.
Must be.
Or Leeds. Does anyone know if Leeds are playing tonight? I could just look myself, actually, couldn't I?
Oh yeah, but sounds like effort to me, mate.
No, Leeds aren't playing tonight.
Oh well, sounds like Scott's just purposely ignoring us then. I won't take it personally. I promise. Right. Merge that down, and now we've got winter texture for the post as well. See, I remembered my winter textures this time. Right, so once they're saved in the same folder as normal textures, it should just work by changing the season in the editor. But the editor can get a bit buggy for this, so don't be disheartened. The amount of times I've had to check winter textures in game rather than in here. Oh, and that's just crashed. Thank you very much, TS.
Tempt up.
Alright, let's try that again.
This little program
Nope.
cannot play in 64.
I can. It's not. Oh, I'll have to do it in game. But it's you have to do it by renaming the 62-bit file to just to 32.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you know, like when you want it to open on Steam by default to 64. But
Yeah.
So
Dean's asked, would it be possible to make assets that user can change color of in the settings such as shelters to reflect different colours. You'd have to do it. You couldn't do it in game. I don't think. Could you changing colours? You'd have to obviously make the assets
don't
and
think
do
it's
one.
possible.
I think it'd be a case you'd have to obviously have that same shelter, and then just change the colour scheme, and then obviously have the multiple ones that you can choose from in the game.
What we would do is we would because like obviously colors are very specific to routes. We would do when making a route, we would do all the colors in that. We would do all the colors in that route. You know,
Obviously, route and era as well.
route and era. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences.
Right, build. Ignore all my terrible test routes. Nothing to hide here. It's fine. One thing I'd love the TS to support is 4K in windowed mode.
Can you not do it in window mode?
Oh, that's the wrong route to load up.
Oh, what's this?
Ignore that. This was my Barrow test route.
Oh, all the Barrow Hill stuff.
Yeah, all the Barrow Hills. Oh, for goodness sake, I've gone edit rather than exit. I'm not a route dev, so I'm not very quick with these. Main menu. Build. Swix test. Edit.
Excellent, James. So James made an account, the texture site now. Going to be doing some Class 08 skins after the 37, so the rust, oil spills, and scratches for the windows will help quite a lot.
Ooh. Yeah, they've got some very good like leaking decals and stuff.
There's a big station there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. That's sneak peek stuff.
Oh, you're teasing.
Teasing, mate. You know me.
There's your quick glimpse of Reading.
I forgot to put it in a. I need to go into Lofts, don't I? Yeah, I forgot to put it in a category, but it's fine.
It's in MISC.
It's in MISC.
It's easy to find.
Yeah, I suppose. This is it in game.
Me.
Do a little test on like render distance, I guess.
How's it on like curves going around like bends?
Have a look. So it should be quite good because it's got a 2 meter.
No, I mean when you place it, if you place it on a curve, like make it go around a bend. Go right.
Looks alright.
Yeah, bob on. No breaks or anything. That's excellent.
It goes a bit funky with the posts, a little bit funky with the posts, but nothing that's visible.
The light on the back of it because it goes dark on that end.
On this
go
end.
back. Is it just the light?
That's just for in-game lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks alright to me.
Nice.
So that would be fence post 1.
Whee.
So I will.
What shader is needed for lofts again?
So, depending on the type of loft you're doing, because this is a solid loft, I've not got any transparent on it. I'm using a loft text diff, which stands for loft texture diffuse. So it's only got one slot for it, and that's your diffuse texture.
Easy.
So I'm going to make a variation of this fence post first. Fence 02. And I'm going to make. So I'm going to do the same fence post, the same fence, but in a different colour to begin with. Let's just select all the wood. I'm going to quickly create a template that I can just select. So what colour should we go for? Should we go for like a burgundy style fence?
Yeah.
That's a very popular colour for fences.
Don't worry at all. That's what these streams are for, team tractions. Don't worry if you're bombarding. This is what keeps the engagement in the chat going. We like to answer questions and pass on tips and stuff like that. So you keep asking. If there's anything you need to know, we'll should hopefully be able to answer as much as we can for you there.
Try and get right colour on this. Yeah, that's a bit better. I think what I'll do is
So I don't know if it looks a bit red. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it is hard to tell. I'll see what it looks like in game.
Yeah.
But I'm also
I know
gonna
what you're trying
add
to go
some
for. It's
paint.
like them sort of newer type of fences, aren't you? Are you trying to go for
Yeah.
a newer colour?
If I do that, it looks like the person who's painted it hasn't done a very good job in painting the concrete as well. There you go.
Can you have a Tom variant where he splattered all the paint down the concrete?
Yeah, just like just flickers of paint everywhere.
That's usually how it goes when I paint. The website for the textures team traction is textures.com.
I shall open it up. So, textures.com. If you ever need to look for something, just there's a search bar up here.
Ooh, trains.
Trains? Oh, trains.
I like trains. Oh, there's a donut there.
Do you
I like
like
donuts.
trains?
I like donuts.
Do you?
William 201876. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining.
Right, so I'm going to save this out as fence post 2. As fence 2, not post.
When's the next common library update due? It will be whenever either we next update one of our routes or when we release the next route. So it's just a case of whatever comes first. Silver Skippy 75. Thank you very much for the host. So if we was to update, for example, Sheffield Derby next week, the new update will go in there with that, and then it'll come with it that. So
well, hopefully.
For them, yeah.
If I remember to do a common library build.
It's usually the sort of rule of thumb we go with anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, we always include a new common library whenever we update a route anyway. Like the last common library went out with what was it?
It got updated actually when MML's update did go out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did our big MML update a few weeks ago. It got updated. There was some stuff in there.
So we got fence post 2. The exact same thing we did before. We're gonna just select texture 2.
All updates. So when we do updates, if you own the pack or the route train, you get an email. So get an email sent to your address that's linked to the account, which tells you there's an update to download. I don't think updates go onto Facebook as like a post.
I don't. I know if you got it through the JT, because this doesn't apply for Steam updates because they go when they want.
Yeah, that's separate. Yeah.
But if you got it from a website and your account is linked to your email, you'll get an email to let you know it's been updated. To anyone who's purchased the route and stuff.
Yeah. So you get a changelog for the product itself. You won't get a changelog of what's new in the common library. But
no, I mean
usually there will be new bits and pieces. You just have to, if you're a builder or whatever, you just have to search and find bits.
I've had a thought about adding a changelog for the common library stuff, but it's just there's too much stuff to just gets rammed into it all the time, so it would take me forever.
We get a little text doc, don't we, for ourselves? But
yeah, I do a little reminder text doc which I put in Discord and stuff, but other than that, I'm not spending hours writing out stuff because at the end of the day, I'd rather put more stuff in than waste time having to document it. Right, that's better. I like the look of that one. So all we do here is we export it, and we're going to call this one fence 2. And then to save us time, I'm just going to copy and paste the existing loft document. Just rename it. And this one uses fence2.igs. Render that out.
Could we work on making an extra paid asset pack?
See, we have thought about that, haven't we? We've had chats about.
We've even thought of having the common library as like a separate thing, haven't we?
Yeah, because I was contemplating doing a builders pack.
Hmm.
Where we do just a massive just models. Because what we're doing, what we're trying to aim at the moment is do more kitbashy style builds.
Yeah.
Just to save work on, just to save work on Tom and Mark. Because most of the time, if we're asking it, like Tom and Mark will ask us something very specific, like, oh, I want this row of shops.
Yeah.
And I'll normally say no, we don't have time. So what we're planning on doing in our up and coming routes is we're going to do, well, hoping to do some kit bash style, like shop floors, flats above, different kind of buildings. Like you could have a flat, you could have peak roof, you could have, whatever variation you want, just to shake things up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's aimed at more of a kit bashy builder rather than the place it if it looks good kind of builder.
So you can get quite creative as well.
Mm.
I like kit bashing. I do enjoy it, to be honest. Excuse me. If you call it a bit like a Lego style pack, yeah, could you just add things together?
I use the Lego analogy all the time when it comes to work.
Yeah.
Like, the way I like to look at it is I'm the person who makes a Lego, and Tom and Mark are the people who put it together. You know.
Yeah. Silver Skippy, we haven't got a Discord server, unfortunately.
Not a public one, no.
No, we've got our own little work one that we have our team on, but we actually haven't got a public one now, unfortunately.
This is yeah, this is one of those things we've had a thought about, but we just don't have the manpower to maintain it.
No, we'd end up spending all day watching and monitoring rather than doing work.
Hmm. Okay, so I'm going to do a green fence post as well, because you get green fence posts.
You do.
In fact, I keep saying fence post. I mean fence. Christ.
Well, the Team Traction says, I personally love the CL as a separate pack. It would help for freeware releases to only need the CL rather than the latest version of a route, which needs obviously getting newer routes all the time to keep up to date. Yeah, it totally does make sense.
It does make sense. Like it's such a big thing now. It's not like you're getting like a couple of assets. I mean, it's source files wise, it's 9 gig now for CL.
Huge.
But that takes me like an entire day to upload it to our server files.
A Just Trains client would be nice that automatically updates routes and common libraries as when updates are available.
Oh, I don't think we have the in-house capabilities of doing that.
No, it has been spoken about with stuff in the past, hasn't it? But obviously,
it has come up a couple of times,
yeah.
but I don't think we've got the in-house management to do that. Because I know they were talking about doing that for the Just Flight side, and it caused too many headaches for everyone at Just Flight. So
we'll pass it on, especially if people are asking for sort of stuff like that. I think it came to the case of more people asking for these things. It may persuade them to maybe look into these things. I mean, for myself personally, I would love stuff like that. As a customer, I probably would like that because if it's all at ease and you can say, "Oh, there's an update," I just click done. It would be brilliant to see. As I know, it can be a pain, obviously having to download, wait for download, and then double click and all that. It's all hand there for you. Yeah, brilliant stuff. But yeah, we'll pass it on our next meeting. We can pass that thought along if it gets the chance that they're talking about these things again, just so that people in Train Sim have mentioned and raised the voice about it.
Right, so that's fence 3. I'll quickly make another one of this colour, just to completely overkill it, so that we can have some proper variation in gardens, and it's going to be like an ambery colour.
Could you do some with different coloured concrete on the bottom?
Yeah, I could change the colour of concrete, but I think I'm going to make a different style of fence with this one now.
Okay.
So the concrete is just purely there as like a padder, so you can lower it however much you want,
Yeah.
And then this one is... Oh goodness, I forgot to make the winter texture, so I shall quickly fix that.
Oh, bad will.
Yeah, just one of our fences isn't going to have a winter texture. Oh goodness. And Photoshop minimizes. Thank you, Photoshop. And then save as. Fence 04. Minimized again. Create the winter texture for that one before I forget. And then we've got. Oh god, you can tell my keyboard's low on power because it keeps mistyping. Bitmap. Fence 4. And then drag across. Come on. Should copy and paste it, just to make sure that it's nice in the folders.
We'll have fun tomorrow putting new fences in.
Oh yeah. Well, you and Mark asked for fences, so you're getting fences.
I'm not updating the old bits of fence I've already placed. They'll just be on new bits.
Nah, mate, you got
I may
through
vary
the
a few
entire
dots here
route.
and there, but
All 52 miles you've done so far. I want you to replace all of the lofts, all of the fences.
I might see if I can dot a couple here and there just to add a few extra bits in. But
Like
I'll
all
let
or
you take
nothing, mate.
it out.
All or nothing.
All or nothing. Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. I'll tell on you if you don't.
Would it be easy to ship out a weathered version of every asset for that extra choice? It's
Oh,
a big job. That is a very big
that is a
job.
very big job. I honestly don't think that's possible with man hours. I mean, because what we're doing is we are revisiting assets in the common library as we go. I mean, we recently did, I think it was last year, or maybe,
The houses.
yeah, I
They were from
revisited a
there.
bunch of the houses, didn't I?
Yeah, Metline that was done.
Was that Metline?
Yeah. Possibly could have been Cornish actually.
Could have been Cornish. I
Could have been
revisited
Cornish
like the
or Met.
first 28 houses in the common library.
Yeah.
Um, and that took me like months because I had to remodel them entirely because I didn't have the source files for them. But I had to. Well, I had the source files, but they were done in an older version of 3ds Max, so I couldn't get them to work.
That's it. You had to redo them though to make sure they overwrit the originals, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, but I also had to make sure that they had
Didn't
the same
change.
silhouette.
Yeah, they didn't change origins and stuff like that.
Yeah, the origins had to be exactly the same, and they had to basically look the same, just updated textures and cleaner models.
Is there a possibility we could look at releasing the signals pack, which compiles all signals you've made? All the signals in the common library, are they?
No, not all the signals are in the common library.
Oh, they're not. Which ones aren't?
All the ones for Metline are in the LU library.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm with you.
That's not the same as the common library.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Comes with Metline.
Yeah.
All the mainline ones are all together in the common library.
All the mainline ones are in the common library. Yeah. And to be fair, the only thing you're missing with the mainline ones is the approach control.
Yeah.
And the draw up, but they're tricky to place anyway without like full scripture.
Mainline ones don't have them types anyway, but the JT modern signals you can do approach control. There's a setup in them that does that.
Yeah, it's done differently to how the Metline does.
Yeah.
The Metline would be too complicated to send out like a pack like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a thing we'd probably do, to be honest.
No, because when we did the Metline, it was very back and forth with like you basically told me what the signal did, and I scripted it there and then.
Most things are bespoke to the areas.
Mm. Down to like the speed of them and the scripts and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is a
Um,
few in there that obviously are like a basic type, but
mm,
yeah, most of them are specific to the origin of where they are on the line and act as they actually should do.
mm. Right. So we've got one set of fences, which is
Hey,
4. Um,
nice.
so I shall guess. I guess I've completely shown how you do that. So I guess up next I'll do one of those
Farm style.
farm style ones.
These like
Yeah,
wooden
like
post and bars, aren't they?
yeah. So there's a nifty trick that I use.
With this one, obviously you're gonna have it at such a place. Could you have it so that the posts that go into ground go quite away? Especially when we're like going into the contours of the terrain, so you're not obviously like trying to fight for them.
What quite
So, you know,
quite a
not
height on
massive.
them.
Yeah, just a little bit extra on the height than what you would generally go with, just so you can obviously bed it into the terrain where needed. If
Yeah,
you've got like hills
I
and stuff.
guess I could do something like that.
Hmm.
So these are going to be 5 centimeters. So this is something that I do from time to time. Trying to think of the
I
last.
think I think again there, Dean. What we can do is we can of course voice and just mention that it's been requested as a possibility of doing a common library as a separate thing. We can mention it. There's no promises that it will go out as a payware
Hmm.
separate pack, but if it's something that people do want and are looking towards, then it's one of them again. I think that the case of the more people are asking for it, it's one of them that we could look at it.
Yeah, well, I'm a very big advocate for it because I've been saying it for ages that we should do a builders pack.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll definitely bring it up if people make enough noise, we do listen.
Yeah.
Or at least the higher ups listen, I should say. Um, the mighty Mr. Ford.
Oh, aye.
Oh, I
Exactly.
exactly. Okay.
Team Traction. One thing that you're missing on the speed board are SP boards, so sprint ones. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we've not actually ever done any routes that have them boards. If and when we come to do a project that has them speed boards on there, then we'll definitely um get them in there, so they will go to the common library as a new sign. Which is one of the things we do look for now. We do have a lot more signage that gets made for
Hmm.
the track side, so keep you out in the space. If we have a route that goes past one of them boards, then we'll have it in there.
Well, yeah, we are spending a lot more time to get that authenticity in, aren't
Yeah,
we? Um,
key details like that obviously make things stand out.
well, yeah,
That's how Tom demands
it's
his
what we
access.
like to do, isn't it? You know,
I'm a very demanding man, Dan.
he's a very demanding man.
Very demanding man. Oh, definitely, Dean. This tonight is quite a game changer, really, for our routes in terms of garden fences, because we've never had this variety. We've always had 2 garden fences, which we've always used from the Kuju stuff. So after 13 years, we have new fences, lots of fences. So we'll be able to get a lot more variety in them routes moving forward. Splash a bit of colour in there.
So this is a little trick that I like to do when it comes to this style of fence. So it is still a single plane that wraps around itself.
Mhm.
But these two faces in the middle are going to be transparent, so I'm going to use a different shader, which is going to knock out the alphas for this, and it lets you do a bit more of a complicated structure.
Yeah.
So, like before, I'll make the template.
DJ Stop Attack, good evening. Do we still work with Chris Trains, or that finished? Good question. I don't actually know, to be fair. I would assume it'd be a case of if he's got any projects and products, he would approach us. See, he uses us as a publisher.
Hmm.
It's been a while since he's released anything. I think the last thing he released was it the Civity train, which I streamed
Oh
once.
yeah, I remember that. That was a nice looking train.
Very nice train. But it's the Dutch trains that he focuses on, isn't it?
Very, very gifted modeler.
I'd love to see a proper pay-wear Dutch route. I know there's a lot of freeware ones out there. They're so hard to get working, to try and get his content on. So I don't have a clue about how Dutch stuff works just off the top of my head to go and find it in freeware.
To be fair, mate, you barely know how to drive English routes, so.
Well, true. This is very true. I can drive the S8 though.
Yeah, I can drive the S8 as well.
You can do the S8.
So S8 is the only train I can drive. So this one doesn't need to be quite so big. I wonder if I give myself more texture space by narrowing these gaps.
Mm-hmm.
I get a bit more detail in the wood. So where's it not telling me my values? Where are my values? Panic. I'll leave it like this for now.
Since MML started, the clutter and common library has massively improved. It was definitely improved, and a lot more stuff's in there. Heck of a lot of stuff. We also moved a lot more stuff into the common library at Christmas. I say we'll sat there for weeks, moving tons of assets out of other projects. That'd be very worthy.
That was a fun time doing all of that, moving all of those.
You sound so convincing.
Oh, I had such a good time. No, it was alright. Unfortunately, I am the keeper of a common library, and it is my job to make sure that if I make a great model, it gets put into the common library for everyone to use.
Dan, I do agree with you there. He probably would be able to do some very nice modern UK stock if he was to approach it. Will is the Hagrid of the JT Common Library.
I am. That's the best way of wording it. I tried to pressure 40 into buying me a robe, but that just says, keeper of the common library. But he told me some very choice words where to go. So.
Oh, bad 40.
No. Alex would never talk to his subordinates like that.
No.
You just tell us to work with no food.
If anything goes wrong with the JT CL, just blame Tom. That's the JT motto.
Yeah, just blame Tom.
No, always.
Every morning we wake up with a chant of bad Toms.
I'll be 2 seconds, Will.
Alright, mate. Alright, so I got my template for this one now. This one's going to be called Fence 5, because I'm creative like that. That's all Tom says. Be re.
It be right.
It be re.
Be fine. Be right. Don't worry about it.
Right, I forgot to render out my template, but I'll do that now. Render UV template. Render UV template. Save. And this is going to be so open this up in Photoshop. I'm in the wrong size. So I want this one to be now let's see what I can find on textures with some decent wood.
Oh.
So there's actually a subsection for wood, isn't there? Yeah. Go for logs.
Well, I like that one. Go back up. Oh, you've gone past it now.
Wait, where? Yeah, you're behind. What are you looking at?
Right, scroll. Oh, no, you was on that main page a minute ago. You've gone well past it.
I've gone well past it.
Yeah, it's well gone. Don't worry.
It's well gone. Okay.
There's no point in me trying to like direct you because you've just gone well
Nah,
past.
you're quite a bit far behind.
Yeah.
So I'll go for logs.
Could we ship out our routes as .ap files to maximize the load time efficiency even more? That could be something we may be able to look into.
It's something we've been thinking about, you know.
This new fast load thing uses .ap files, doesn't it?
Mm.
So I don't know how it'll work with obviously having the root common library and whatever else. Because we use European Local Asset Pack, which is the Kuju stuff, so it's not in the same place. So I don't know how it'll work on that in that respect.
This has also been an issue that we've been having back and forth with DTG, because the AP files have been messing with our common library, and that's what's been causing a lot of the errors on Metline if you buy the Steam version.
Yeah.
So ideally, we don't really want to open that can of worms for ourselves, in my opinion, but it is something we can look into. But yeah, like we said earlier, never say never. So, got some wooden planks. That's the one keyboard shortcut that really annoys me on Photoshop. That Shift-Alt will change your keyboard layout from English to American. Transform, flip horizontal. Get rid of some of that colour, I don't like the colour. And then we're, should be alright actually, looking at it. Let's get rid of some of that texture that's just going to repeat a little. Oh, Tom's gone quiet. Is Tom still there? He's talking, but I can't hear him.
Oh, I was muted for some strange reason. I was here always.
Okay.
I don't know why I was muted, to be quite honest, because there was no reason for me to mute, so I don't know why I muted. Yeah, nothing was occurring.
Oh, mate, you've caused Photoshop to crash again.
Chat's on live again, though. Telling me my mic's off.
You've caused Photoshop to crash.
Oh, sorry. I'll go.
Oh, it might be because I got Blueprint Editor open, and that for some reason drains.
I might have muted because I coughed and I just forgot to unmute again.
Oh yeah.
Could you ever make road with improved traffic that maybe has moving wheels? I don't think you do moving wheels, can you, in TS?
Well,
I've never seen moving wheels on cars.
Well.
At all. Are you saying well because you can?
I reckon I could.
Oh.
Don't forget my recent breakthrough of Reading.
Well, yes.
With my recent.
Hey, don't tell them all. Don't tell them all because they'll have to come on Friday and have a look.
That's it. I'll spill the beans on Friday. But I reckon I could do.
Everyone wants to know now.
Yeah, everyone wants to know now.
Come and find us on the Friday afternoon short stream. And you can see what Will's been working with. Oh, have you lost?
Oh, I completely lost that one. That's fine, though. Oh, that's annoying. That's
what, we lost the new model you was just moving then?
Yeah.
Who wants to know? Nah, you're not finding out till Friday.
it's like it's like TV standing. So it's like if one person phones up and complains, that equals 10,000 people complaining. You know. So if one person is curious, it means everyone's curious.
All I can say is it moves you to great heights.
That That is terrible.
Hello, Katie. Katie's here, even though she's in the same. She's gone. Bye, Katie.
Evening, Kate. Bye, Kate.
Bye. Hi, bye.
Right, let's.
Anyone else finding the last best 2 minutes of the stream? I'll just go. Everyone wants me to go. I'll go and be quiet.
Can we do that
What's
during
this
the workday,
Friday?
mate?
No,
No.
unfortunately not. No, I'm going to stay for Fridays. Yeah, Friday, Jen. Occasionally, we're going to be doing some Friday afternoon streams for an hour or two. Mainly, just Will's going to be doing obviously the main route work for Swex. He's not going to be doing stuff like this. It's going to be stuff he's actually got to do in his daytime. So you can come and have a look at how Reading's progressing for an hour or so. I think is it about half? Is it about 1:30, something like that?
Yeah, we're aiming to go live 1:30 till just about 3:00ish, I think.
Yeah, because I have to disappear around 3 o'clock to go and pick up the little one from school. So it might be the case that I jump off just before the end of the stream while Will finishes up. But
we're still figuring out the formatting on it and stuff like that. But it's supposed to be a more relaxed sort of.
It's not going to be as much like this because obviously I've got to still do my stuff, so I'll be sort of watching over the chat. But
yeah,
it's just a case we're going to put the stream on. You can just sort of come and have a watch, sort of thing.
Yeah, we just got to be on best behaviour.
Yeah. Are we mentioning the other gem, by the way?
Oh yes.
Are we allowed to? Because it's quite important.
Yeah, next week. Well, you can do it, Tom, because it's your stream.
Well, this is the this will be an interesting one how this turns out. This is going to be the very last Monday stream, in the evenings, but we are moving days, so don't worry, we're not going. We're moving to Tuesdays. Everyone's hearts all went
suspense then. Goodness.
I could have just left that on hand.
You could just talk about a cliffhanger.
You could just ended the stream, just left it there.
You just ended the stream. This is our very last Monday stream. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be moving to Tuesdays from next week. So 7:30 still, same time. It's just
same time, just different day.
Yeah, we're just changing days over. So do make note. There will be posts on Facebook and all that for reminders. So don't worry.
I'll be doing a reminder on Friday's stream just for anyone who didn't catch it.
Why are we moving to Tuesdays? It's just okay. We've had to move some bits and pieces around. So one of the things we've needed to do is just change this day over for the stream.
Yeah, we're experimenting. The streams have been
sort of quieting off a little bit.
No, it's not the quieting off. It's more the fact that we want to shake things up. Like they've been getting a bit, with lack of a better word, stale.
Yeah.
This is why, like, you know, I've stepped in to help Tom.
We're just trying to change things around and mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
You know. So there may be a few extra route building streams as well, because obviously it helps us move forward and get as much done as possible at the same time, so I can get a little bit more done in the day, on top of what I do in my daytime.
Heavens no, Tom's need help.
Moving to the hairdressers hours, having Mondays off. I could say I'm having the kebab day off as well.
Yeah.
Kebab shop on a Monday as well. Yeah, we're doing kebab shop hours now. Try some Hope Valley, Jen. We will do Hope Valley at some point. It's just not at that stage where we can get it on the stream.
Yeah, yet. it's the dev who's making it he's working as hard as he can to get it to a point where it's showable.
Also, he's route building and he's asset building at the same time, so he's got two jobs to get it going.
He's doing a fantastic job though.
I think there's an end development post coming soon, isn't there? I think moving towards that.
Yeah, I
saw a post that he said he'd done, you know, the stuff that you asked for him. I think he's done it.
Yeah. Alex was saying earlier that he's done the stuff I've requested. Because you know, I'm a taskmaster. I'm a terrible person. Everyone hates me.
Yeah.
I'm by far the worst employee at Just Trains because I criticize everyone. Oh goodness, whoops. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of detail to these in the sense of. Oh goodness. ignore the constant noises. Just some little bolts.
What's happening?
I'm just putting in some.
Oh, I can see him. I couldn't see. Oh, right, that's what you do. I couldn't see the mouse. I was looking for the mouse.
Oh yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting you're behind.
Yeah, these are little screw holes.
Yeah, just some little detail for the like nails and stuff. And then merge, select, give it a little blur. And then
Apparently, there's some noise that's throwing Josh off. Can you turn your PC volume off?
oh, is my PC? Oh wait, I don't actually have any
Why not?
music playing.
Have you not any music on?
No, I've done that again. There you go, this should help. I didn't realise I was getting some feedback. Sorry about that.
So I haven't got the volume on the actual stream because obviously I'd be hearing Will twice.
Let me know if this is too loud. Oh, that's really bad. That's twice I've done that now. We are professional, I swear.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Yeah, unfortunately my audio system on my PC is a bit convoluted, so I get quite a bit of feedback noise. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, there you go. Some little bolts added to it. And this one is going to be fence 5. Fence 5. So I want to make sure that I'm getting the alpha with it as well, so that's why I'm going BGRA. I'm now going to copy this material and make a new one for fence 5. And I'm going to go for a Loft text diff alpha to get the transparency on it.
Yeah.
And I believe I don't have to set it to transparent, but we'll find out when I do this. It's been a while since I've done this sort of thing. That's looking alright. I don't like that knot, so I'll get rid of that knot. Leave that on the tile's a bit hard. Another trick I can do is I can just select these. Flip. Oh. Select these and just flip them so that they don't tile quite so hard. And clean them up a little. Get rid of some of the blemishes just to stop it from tiling a little bit. It's all finicky work, this.
We've got quite a number of gates in the common library, James, as well. So like, Will made some wooden ones. Callum's made some metal ones as well. So they'll all mix in with these.
Callum's got those lovely farm ones he's made, hasn't he?
So we'll use what existing ones we've got. But the wooden ones that Will made will match up quite nicely with these.
Hopefully, anyway, if I've done my job right. So we got fence 5. I'll make the post for it in a second. blueprint because I closed it because it was causing stuff to crash. For now, I'll just empty these, just so they don't show up.
So how many types of this one are you having? Just having the one?
I might do like this one and like a darker rotten one. That's not quite right. Is it zeroed in? Let's have a look.
Is it on the same as the other one, dude?
Yeah, this is the only thing that makes lofts annoying. They have to be set up in a very particular way, otherwise it just doesn't like it. Nope, still not liking it.
Oh, Team Traction's going to try and get his first lofting game. All the best.
Good luck.
Fingers crossed.
It's
Hope it all goes well.
It's not too finicky, I swear.
As Will says, he's having issues.
As he says, I'm making issues, yeah.
Man who's giving tutorials having problems.
Well, sounds about right, doesn't it? Sure what it is.
Jake's back after having an haircut. Hellfire.
Fair enough. Bit of Jen.
It's a late night cut. Was it a close shave?
That's terrible, mate.
I'm full of them.
Full of something, that's for sure. Alright.
What a mouth.
What a mouth.
What a mouth.
You gotta be careful about cough, mate, because you get quarantined.
I know. Doesn't hurt anymore. It's alright. It's just annoying now.
It doesn't hurt anymore. It's just blood.
Just oh, it was hurting the other day when I was coughing like. It's not like when I woke up in the morning the other day. It was like, you know, you have that horrible like nails in your throat sort of feeling. Every time you try and cough, that's gone now. It's not so bad.
So what you want to do is you want to right-click the folder, go add a new item, and then it's under blueprint, and then loft section blueprint, and then you put the name in down here. Oh, don't you love it when it goes wrong at night? It's my fault for doing lofts. Perhaps I want to go for trans rather than alpha. I'll quickly make sure, see if it's not a issue with the model or whether it's an issue with the shader. So I'll just set it as like a normal one. Looks like it's an issue with the model.
Nope. Ghostly appearance.
Or rather, ghostly non-appearance right now.
Has anyone ever made any roller coaster cars and track so Trainson could double up as a theme park? Don't think so. I've never seen any roller coasters as such. I have seen sort of fairground sort of like bits and pieces made like carousels and stuff like that. In the freeware.
Oh, there's my issue. I figured out what I've done wrong.
Oh.
I wasn't zeroing it. I was looking at the wrong grid line, Tom.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Can't blame me.
No, I can't blame you. I'm going to blame myself, mate. Don't worry. Don't panic. I'm not going to yell at you.
Oh, thank God for that.
Thank God.
I'm safe. I'm safe.
You're saved from my wrath.
Would have been great, that, James. That was one of the things I did want, but just wasn't to be, sadly.
Yeah, I was going to make you a custom roller coaster and everything. I was going to make an animated one that ran around. Do you remember?
Yeah, you never know if my freeware Blackpool route goes to Blackpool South. It goes back to the pleasure beach there.
Well, I did want to make some of I noticed I've slowly been rotating this entire stream, so I'm just getting more and more out of frame. There you go. Okay, so that now needs to be changed.
Oh,
because that's Z fighting textures. Lovely.
Oh, just slightly.
Lovely. Yeah, I love making little weird assets like that. It was like what was the one me and Mark did? Matlock. Yeah. I was gonna have the cable cars animated on that, but I didn't have time to do that in the end because it was gonna be like a half-hour animation.
Yeah, it's a big thing, especially just 4 cable cars. Was it 4?
6?
So it's 6,
I think. I don't know. It was such a long time ago.
We'll go with 5. We'll go in the middle. I think it was 6, to be quite honest.
We had such a nightmare putting them together because I think we had to get Mark to he had to create like a loft. Like I gave him I supplied him with the pylons, and he had to make a loft for me so that I could make the cable as a separate asset, so the cable was nice and taut.
Yeah.
That was a real journey. That route. So. Lofts, text alpha. And then let's see if we have our transparency now.
Evening, Ash.
Close. You got a bit of a shadow on it still. So I'm going to try the trans rather than the alpha.
Managed to kill the Blender exporter maker's frame rate from 315 by trying to animate trees.
Oof. Not. No.
So Doctor's in the chat is the one that did the new trees we use.
Oh yeah.
So he's the creator of the tree. Mr. Tree Man.
I'm not very good at foliage. I've tried. Oh goodness knows I've tried. I've just not been overly successful with it. There you go. That's what we want. So we've got no Z fighting anymore.
Hey.
And we've got solid posts, which are aloft now. If that makes sense.
Yep.
So I'm gonna make the fence post, and then see how it goes. Let's make some fence posts. So we want these fence posts.
Dean says a washing line would be great for gardens. There is one already, but like a carousel one.
Yeah, we've been
like one.
It's one of those things where it's like I think I am going to do a garden clutter stream.
Very good. Like a little conservatory that I can whack onto the back of our house and stuff like that. That'd be quite cool.
I was definitely feeling like a garden clutter stream at some point.
Nice.
Because he can just make really nice things, and you've been pestering me for
we like
washing line for yachts,
for our gardens, yeah,
and let alone bloody conservatory.
No. birdhouse and sheds. We've got some garden sheds. We'll make some new garden sheds, so we've already got those.
I made some garden shed quite a while ago, didn't I?
Yeah, you did them with I think DNL or Earwash somewhere that sort of point. We've got them
DNL.
and a trampoline. Yeah, we got the trampoline as well, didn't we? And the garden chairs.
Yeah, garden chairs. Yeah,
they were huge, weren't they? Originally?
They were massive. Oh, I remember Mark placing them outside the pub. Cause we didn't realise, did we?
No.
And it wasn't until we placed them outside the pub on Matlock that we realised they were just insanely large.
Matt's asking, how good are you at nameplates? What do you mean as in nameplates, Matt? Like as in for trains, or what do you mean? For locos, as in like loco names? I think how that goes down is a case of you've got to then obviously make a specific reskin, I think, for the loco. And obviously challenge object the nameplate onto it.
Yeah, it's I'm not really great with reskins. I think I did the ZZA reskin, didn't I?
You did a good job with the ZZA.
Well, I didn't do the full reskin. I did the
Rob did the skin, and you did the snow stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, I did the snow textures. I'm not trying to take credit from Rob's work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really very well acquainted with reskins. I've done ID plates and signals.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm good at science. Obviously, nothing compared to you, the master, mate.
What type of post are you doing here?
So I'm just going to do like a cylindrical post, you know. Just like a stump sort of thing.
Yeah.
What I'm doing as well is I'm adding caps to the ends of these woods. And I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to...
Are you able to do a square post as well on it?
Yeah, I can do a square post on it.
If you've got time.
I'll do a square post on it, mate, don't worry.
Top job. You see, if you don't ask, you don't get.
If
I don't usually ask, I get told no.
Yeah, usually, but because it's a stream night, it's a special night, mate.
Hey. Well, sure it will. Can you just make this and that?
Yeah, sure, mate.
Excellent. We'll be here till midnight. It's alright.
Be here till midnight. It's fine.
Team Traction tried to export into games. The export was successful, but there's nothing in game.
Nothing in game. Are you checking it in Blueprint? Or are you exporting it into game, or are you checking it in the Blueprint editor? So what you want to do is are you using 3ds Max or are you using Blender? Okay, so I'm not sure whether Blender has a reset X form setting, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that your model is zeroed in, but protrudes along the y-axis. So you want to make sure that it's zeroed in on 0, 0, 0. Well, the Z doesn't really matter; it can be as high or as low as you want, and it goes up along the y. It can't go negative. And then make sure the origin is set to 0, 0, 0. The origin has to be 0, 0, 0. And then re-export it and see if that works. That I have many grey hairs from learning this many a year ago. Because when I started working at JT, I never said no to anything. So you'd have Mark saying, "Oh yeah, can you just quickly do this for me? Can you quickly do this for me?" So yeah, no issue. Yeah, I'll get it done. And then that's how the Met line was made. Yeah, that was a nightmare. Like, even now, I don't like to say no to Mark. I say no to Mark. I say no to Tom all the time. Sorry,
Makes
mate.
me sad. Makes me sad.
No, it's because if Mark asks for it, I know he needs it. If you ask for it, there might not be. You might just be being lazy.
Well,
Well,
sometimes.
sometimes. It's alright, mate. I believe you from time to time.
I'm glad to hear.
So let's just select some of these islands. I don't need to do a super clean job of unwrapping it.
So saying this will be the same method once you got this one post, and you just obviously put it in and separate it every so often.
That's for one.
Yeah, like the concrete one you did.
Now, if I wanted to be fancy, I could put like I could put the what's the fence now? I could have it going down at a diagonal so it goes into the floor, like I did on the troughs.
Yeah.
That cable trough thing I did.
Mhm.
That has the corners which dig into the ground a bit for you, because I know you've got a habit of putting floating troughs down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sorry, I completely lost track. No, yeah, this post is just going to go straight down.
Yeah.
So let's export this as post 2. Export. Yep, happy with that. Doesn't need a shadow map because it's not going to be. Shadow maps tend to render out at a distance, so it would sort of flicker and it would look terrible. Create scenery blueprint, browser info, exclude from list, render component 10. And these are going to populate every 3 meters because this is 3 meters long.
Mhm.
Let's see how it looks. Yeah, that looks alright. That's close to what you wanted, isn't it?
Yeah, mate.
It goes down a meter into the ground.
Yeah.
You've got a bit of height on it. I'll do the same in grey, and then I'll do the same with square posts.
Mhm. Sounds good, mate.
And then that would probably be a good place to wrap it up once I've done that. So let's get some dank and dreary ones by just desaturating the wood a little. This one fence 6. Is chat going crazy?
Fences keep the horses in. They do. They certainly do. The horses.
The osses.
The horses. could do with a group of dead, non-usable coaches with different liveries but weathered, battered, defaced, just to go in a scenery on tracks. We tend not to. We used to have routes that have wagons and static locos inside it, but the issue being is that if they're in the route, it comes with the case that if you're making scenarios, you might want to actually go down that specific track that's some static, so you can't. So it's a case of just you just play some statics in a scenario editor, as in like what comes with the pack, really. I think weathered rolling stock is hard to come across, but
it's hard to achieve, to be honest with you.
But yeah, to get it right, it is definitely a lot of work.
Ooh, I think I saved that under the wrong thing. That was going to be post 3, post 2. Just exporting out as IGS as always. Create scenery blueprint for caps. Exclude from list. In a component. Ooh, didn't mean to press play. That's fine. When you reference it, it will. When you reference it and test it, it will export any referenced files. So you don't need to really worry about making sure you export every file.
Oh god, Ash's Steam Sound Supremes 9F, so these are Steam locos, are weathered with 50 layers.
Oh, goodness.
That was a long day.
I don't think I have the patience to do 50 layers. I mean, I wanna get more into Substance Designer or Painter, whichever one it is, because I know Callum uses that, and it's supposed to be really good for weathering. A lot of the weathering I do is manual and Photoshop, because I'm more comfortable with Photoshop.
Oh, nice one, James.
Right, change rules those over to be post 3. Lovely and weathered.
Nice.
And I'll do one with a square post for you, mate.
Wee. What a lad. What a mate. What a mate.
This 4. What I might do is I might actually not exclude these from the list for you, so you can place them separately as if they've been ripped down.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool.
I'll make the square post a bit larger as well, so it's a bit stonkier. I think this one should be post 5 because I think that's got the wrong colour on it.
No.
And then we have it does get confusing when you make a bunch of these in a go.
Oh, here's a good question for you. What's the most complicated loft you've made? From Jake.
Oh, I made there was a terraced house one I did, which just didn't run in game because it was so complicated. Yeah, I've certainly made a couple of lofts. I tend to try and keep it as basic as possible. I guess the cable troughing loft was a complicated one. That took me about a day to make.
Oh, that the elevated one.
Yeah, the elevated cable troughing, which is like used everywhere.
Yeah.
I spent ages like even modelling bolts in and stuff to come in.
Yeah.
So these ones I'll include. So you can just put them down separately.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Jake, I vaguely remember seeing some form of terrace houses being done by DCG. Quite a while ago, I think they were. I've actually come across trees done as lofts as well. Quite interesting.
Yeah, there's a way you can use lofts to have random, well not random, but like different population things in. So you have like a different, you have like a different, like the loft itself is basically invisible, and you have like a different cap on either end and a different model thing. Then you can have like three which sort of repeat after each other. But that's it's all a bit. I'm not against it. It's just a bit too convoluted in my opinion.
Yeah.
But then I'm a simple lad. Press the wrong button.
Yeah, I've seen it with the road, the long like hawthorn bushes done in the freeware stuff once, and yeah, they were awkward. They did float in places. It was really hard to get like flush with the terrain.
I think I might have just confused myself. We'll see. So 7 is 5 with post 5. I might have made this go too complicated, and I might have just completely messed myself up, but we'll see.
Oh, time will tell.
Time will tell. Yeah, that's got the wrong post, so I need post 4. And then
Yeah, I reckon certain things do work, don't they, Ash? But obviously certain things just don't. Oh, Ben's back. Oh, we do love the bug where if you preview a loft in the preview thing, but then it crashes.
yes,
If you preview another.
all the time. That's one of my favourite quirks of Blueprint Editor. Okay, so this one needs. Oh, I've royally confused myself now.
You having fun, mate?
Yeah. Oh. I love lofts.
Yeah, just thumbs up. Yeah, it's going well. Everything's fine. I'm in trouble.
I only cry myself to sleep some of the time. Right, that's right. And then I need to. Now we got it.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Right, what I'll do is I'll
Nice.
finish these up by placing them all in game.
Mhm. Productive evening.
Yeah, mate. 8 assets in 2.5 hours. That ain't bad.
Bad, not bad at all. Looking swill, Will.
Alright, build. Swex. Yeah, it's because they don't have like shadow mapping and stuff like that. So you really have to work hard on the texture to make it look half decent, you know. JTTV is 101. Oh, I hate placing Lofts in game. Bad enough with track.
Evening, Charlie. You like you're having fun there, mate.
I love working with Lofts, mate. I'm going to be the next route builder for JT. Did I tell you that?
You're doing a good job.
You've seen some of my routes, so. Alright, so we can look at all of our Lofts there. So we've got like the burgundy style reddish one.
Mhm.
Oh goodness, that's my keyboard messing up. The natural one, the unpainted.
Yep.
The green one. The more auburny one, I guess.
Mhm.
And then you've got wood with round posts, rotten wood with round posts, wood with square posts, and rotten wood with square posts.
Nice.
And yeah, try and hide Reading.
Not if you can hide a station that big.
No, most definitely not. It's alright, I'll go into more detail in Reading on Friday. So yeah, I think this is a good place to end it before I end up making any more.
It's been good. Again, I hope everyone's enjoyed and I hope it's been very beneficial to many of you. Especially, there's been people on there obviously learning this evening, so hopefully it's worked well with them.
We'll upload we'll upload these videos to YouTube anyway.
Yep.
And yeah.
Well, the stream will be on YouTube, so
yeah, the stream will be on YouTube anyway.
Try and do maybe a little separate video just as a quick how you do a blueprint for something.
Yeah, I could do like a how-to loft and stuff, just a quick one.
Oh, I bet, Ben.
Oh, fantastic! I'm glad I could help. This is why I want to do it. Share the wealth. You know, there's not any documentation there's barely any documentation on this stuff. So.
See, you've helped one person this evening. How do you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel warm inside.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. So yeah, we'll be on around about 1:30.
Half one-ish to 3 o'clock Friday.
Yeah.
And those who are not joining us, don't forget next week we're moving the stream from Monday to Tuesday. Same time, so 7:30 Tuesday, and that's where you'll have Tom.
Driving, I think.
Doing some driving, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know what, but I'll figure something out.
I'm not.
That's tomorrow's job, isn't it? We've got to work that out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not scheduled to join in on that one, so I'll have to leave that one to you. I might be in the chat though, just to keep an eye on you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Right, well,
alright. Well, thank you all for watching.
Thank you. And we'll see you, if you're around Friday, we'll see you on Friday. Team Traction, yeah, drop me a message. If you need to drop me a message, yeah, not a problem. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, have a good one, guys. Take care, and I'll let Will press the
yeah,
outro.
I've got the control.
You've got your control. I can't
I've got the control. Alright, cheers everyone.
Bye all.